Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Dave, and this is my first solo stream. So some of you know my the Dutch Angle stream, which I do with Marinus and Roland. And this is my first one I do on my own because often people invite me to their streams for interviews, and I don't really like talking about myself that much. But I do like interviewing other people. So I invite some creators on, and we have a great creator today. But first, before we go there, I have my own campaign running right now. So let me share that with you guys. Let me see. So here we go. We got it. Yes. And let's just watch the video.
The perfection program. That's what they call it. It gave me life, but it also caused death. I never asked for any of this. Running from superpowered murderers who want revenge. Revenge for something I did? Something I can't remember. But I won't run. I refuse. I don't want to be controlled anymore. This world needs more heroes than villains. That's more important than anything, isn't it? My existence has to mean something. It has to make a difference somehow. For Virgil. For Aaron. I need to be worth this life I've been given. I need to do what's right. Even if it kills me.
Woo! That is awesome, right? Awesome. Okay, so this is my campaign. It's doing pretty good. We still have 6 days to go. And I just today put on a new stretch goal. So this is it. When we reach the 13,000 stretch goal mark, then everyone gets this cutout. It's a stand-up. So you get it on cardboard with a standee behind it, and you can set it up straight. That's pretty cool. It's drawn by Pau and colored by Federico. Awesome stuff. So check it out. You also get this free art book, so many free stuff. So check it out, guys. Check it out. Okay, let's go to our guest. We started a little bit earlier today because we got a little bit confused with the time zones, and that's totally fine. So let's bring him in. Alejandro. Welcome, Alejandro.
Hey, man. What's up?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. It's a nice bright day over here. How is it by you?
Yeah, it's good weather here. So where do you live?
I live in the United Kingdom. I'm Italian, but I live in the United Kingdom.
Okay, you live in the United Kingdom. Awesome. Mm-hmm. You wanted to start a little bit earlier because you are a busy man.
Yes, today it's a busy day because tomorrow is my birthday, and so.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a very unique birthday. I'm turning 26, and tomorrow is the 26th. So it will never happen again, right?
Okay. So now what? With all the lockdowns, you can't really have a big party, or?
No, I wouldn't have a big party anyway. No, we're just gonna go out and have a nice drink or a meal somewhere, restaurant, maybe a pub. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, we'll see.
Oh, pub, really? So that's still possible?
Yeah, that's possible. You can't sit inside, but they let you sit outside. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And what are you drinking right now? Yeah, man. Look, the show is called this show is called? Have a drink with
How
who?
about this multi-purpose solution for eyes? How about that?
Sounds delicious.
Yes, it is delicious. You drink it through your eyes, though. It
All
doesn't go
right.
through the mouth. Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. You weird British people, and you're weird. You're weird.
I know, right? Weird things.
Yeah, man. So, you're a comic book creator, right?
I am.
Okay. So, how many books did you create?
Well, right now, it depends what you mean by create, because I mean, I have written several stories so far, but I haven't printed any of them. Mm, I haven't sold any of them. Columns of Creation would be the first one, and I hope we can make it happen, because it's a very epic story, and um, it's going to some pretty amazing places, and people would dig it. People would dig it.
Okay, and that's the story you have on Indiegogo right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it up then, shall we?
Oh, all right.
We could talk about that a little bit,
Sure.
because that's the problem, man. If you make your own book, we are creators. We like to create stuff. We like to write and make stories and have people read them. But the downside is you also have to campaign nowadays. So you have to set up these campaign pages, and you have to do your marketing, and it's a lot of work that we sometimes rather spend creating, but it goes with the territory nowadays.
Yeah. And actually, today I posted a video on Instagram saying that basically bidding goodbye, farewell to my followers. The account will remain open, but I have decided to turn it into an inactive account, because I didn't really see the following 3,000 followers turning into sales, and that's the whole point of social media. I don't network with people just to make friends. Of course, I do enjoy the connections. I do enjoy talking with people. I do enjoying now we launched my channel, the people in the chat talking with each other. It's so riveting. I love that. But if these things don't turn into sales, what's the point? We're just talking, into nothing. So I decided to stop using Instagram, because like I said, I just launched my YouTube channel, and I have a lot of amazing guests lined up, a lot of streams, and I just don't have the time to look after 3 different social media platforms, to be honest with you: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I need to look after my own things as well. So yes, it is it's a pretty thing, like a big undertaking to have to advertise your own comic book. I would much rather be published by a publisher, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
And in fact, if I could pick that publisher, it would definitely be Alterna Comics. Because I have mad respect for Peter Simeti, and he taught me everything that I know, about what I am doing. That started me on this like rabbit hole of knowledge.
So what do you mean? You watch videos with him?
Yeah,
or do you know him?
I started watching his videos about 2 years ago, and he's like a teaching kind of person. He's very generous with his advice in his videos, and he had these videos about he would go through all the comics he was publishing at that time. He would flip through them, explain why he accepted those comics, and and all those kind of things. Very useful stuff. I recommend it. And all those videos, not all those videos, but a lot of them are saved on my YouTube channel. There's like what do you call it? Like a category called comics or something like that. It's on my channel, and it's a whole like playlist made purposely to gather all this intel about comic book making and
Yeah.
interviews with creators and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you have your own playlist with your favorite videos.
Yeah,
I do that too, man. Some videos you can watch over and over.
yeah.
Very, very informative.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so you learned a lot from Peter Samedi, and you watched him for 2 years, and this Columns of Creation book, that's recent, or is that from that
Yeah,
time?
Columns of Creation is recent. I started I started, like, the idea was floating in my head 2 years ago, around the same time, and for about a year, I developed it. I drew it myself, not what you see on this page, but um, I was drawing it myself. I drew the first 60 pages of this comic, and then I spoke with a professional. He said, you're a good writer, but you're not, you're not ready for, you can't draw a comic, okay, not right now.
Mhm.
And I knew that. I mean, I appreciate, I like the way I draw. I would never compare it to my artist ability to draw, but at the same time, even if I was that good, I don't know if I would want to do it, because it's very hard work. It's like hard work to draw a comic. A lot of
Yeah,
hard work, especially
definitely.
if you are a perfectionist.
Yeah,
So
which is not a bad trait to have if you're a artist. The
mhm,
same for writing. You want the story to be perfect, so
mhm,
it can be a detriment if you can't let go. At some
mhm,
point you have to let go. Now it's done.
mhm.
Next project.
Yeah.
So I get that, and I myself wanted to be an artist too, but I could not put in all the hours that it required to learn the craft,
Mhm.
and writing takes a lot of time also. So I totally get that. So you shifted over to writing. So you wanted to draw,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I was a writer to begin with. I was writing.
okay,
I wrote stories, and I wanted to be a novelist. Um, but then I've always been into comics since I was a kid, and so the dream was always something with comics. But then I sort of just accepted that I had a lot of dreams. I wanted to be a singer at one point. That's why I came to the United Kingdom. Um, and then I let that go. And so, at one point I felt lost, and I inquired myself to what I wanted to do with my life. And so I reverted back to art, which was always something that I gravitated towards. I went to an art school when I was 15, and but I also knew that I wanted to write. I didn't just want to draw things. I wanted to draw. Um, I wanted to tell a story, right? And I'm a comic book reader, so I want to write. I want to tell a story. I want to do it in comics, right? So that led me to Columns of Creation, which is the first born comic story, because the other ones I wrote were always meant to be novels. But
okay.
Columns of Creation was born to be a comic.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
is that was the process different when you write a novel and when you write a comic book?
it's very different. I mean, even from like what Columns of Creation was meant to be, which was, I wrote it to be a monthly comic because I pitched it to some publishers.
Hmm.
Um, it was a lot more slow paced, and more, the story was sort of like slowed down and enlarged, so to speak, to add a certain level of gravitas to the events that take place and build characters. Of course, you can't do that when you're charging people $25 for a book. You have to pack that book with as much, you know content as possible, and that
Mhm.
that doesn't necessarily mean always and only action, but you've got to have action, you've got to have some character development, you've got to have a lot of different locations. Like, for example, when I first wrote it, there was this place in the story called the Positive Room, which is an empty white space, right? It existed because at first I was trying to acclimate myself to drawing, and so
And
right.
that was the easiest thing to draw.
So it had a connection with the story, in
Yeah.
that Fire, the main, the catalyst of the story, he has sort of like depression in a way, and
Mhm.
so he runs to this place to in search for answers, right? The Positive Room is a place where you go when you are seeking answers, and when you leave from it, you have the answer you were looking for, or you leave with more questions, right? It's like a gamble.
Okay.
So when I started drawing columns of creation, that's where I started. It was the Positive Room, and Fire was there, and Time, his father, was there, and so I started with two characters, no background, right? And so eventually, as the story developed, I started then drawing the other characters, and then some backgrounds, and more, and it led me to more stuff. But I had to scrap that, because I am not about to charge $25 to my backers and have them hang out in an empty white space for 5 pages. No
No.
way.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
get that. But yeah, the basic premise is very very interesting. I looked over it, and it's very fantastical.
mhm.
So can you explain a little bit what the story is about?
Sure. So if you look under this image, you see the columns of creation, right?
Look at
So
this.
these
This is
are,
beautiful art, man.
thank you so much. So this is art by a guy named Matt Monaco. He's Italian, and the colors are by Carlos Moreno. And then I'll just say all the team, like Eric Weathers is going to do the lettering on this comic, and
Okay.
Von Klaus is helping with graphic design. He'll probably do pagination and stuff like that. So, well, what is it about? So these guys are the columns of creation. They are the embodiments of the elements of nature. Obviously, as you can see, there's a few more here. I've added light on the left. You've got dark in the middle with the wings, and then I've added lightning as another element. So there's 7 of them in total, and they are siblings, and they are a dysfunctional family. And basically, after eons spent performing their duties of creation, they come to live in New York City under the guise of human beings, and they get in all kinds of trouble. There's a lot of character development there. They're very complex characters, very complex. They meet some human characters. Some of them will fall in love. Some of them will be, there's an investigation involved, a detective. They'll find themselves. Say again.
No. So one sec. These characters are basically reality. They form reality.
They
Is
form
that
no,
correct?
they form. I mean, in a manner of speaking, they form the elements of nature. So,
Okay.
I mean, they are the embodiment. So, let's say Fire came to the world, right? He was born. They were born like us. Okay. They came out of their mom's vagina.
Okay. They're
Okay.
born you. Yeah.
Yeah. At the
Okay.
beginning of all things, and
Mhm.
the moment they came out, they were the elements of nature, and so that's like, without them, fires would not burn, electrons would not exist, wind, oxygen, air would not exist. So they make up all those things basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have human forms also.
They I mean, it's for the first time in the story they turn into humans, and you guys can see those forms on my Instagram, with this handle here. Leandro_VS. As drawn by myself, not my artist. Although my artist did draw fire in his human form, and that can also be found on there. So yeah, they come to New York, but their journey is abruptly interrupted by Paradox, the guy we were seeing above just a moment ago.
Oh, that's this guy.
This guy right here, yeah.
Yeah.
He is the embodiment of black holes, and he's been living on Earth peacefully for a long time. He made a family for himself. He has a wife, he has a daughter, but an event takes place that changes everything. And the columns of creation will have to stop him from destroying humanity. Now, this image we see here is not from the book, but it's going to be available as a print, and also I think a digital file very soon. And it is only there really to, like, it's he drew it like this to represent his devastating power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fantastic background, man. This is amazing.
Yeah, my colorist is coloring it right now, and I checked in on him 2 days ago, and he said, "I'm sorry, man, it's taking a while because there is so much detail, and you don't really realize until you think that this, as if you open this as a high quality file, it's gigantic."
Mm-hmm.
So my colorist is going from building to building, adding highlights, because if you notice from his work in the colored page, my colorist adds a lot of highlights, a lot of depth to my artist's work, so it's very time consuming for him as well.
Look at all these details here.
Yeah, even fire. You see fire on the head, for example. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
cool stuff, man. That's great. This is from the same artists.
Yeah, so this is page 1, and it's telling the story of from the beginning of time, although I do away with the dinosaurs and all that, from the beginning of time to modern history, right? So if you go down to the second page, there's an interesting sort of, a lot of people love this page. I mean, of course, I love it too. We're going through time basically, and we see the what are these called, the religious wars. No, the religious wars, the night.
Crusades.
The Crusades. Yeah, I can never think of the word. We see the Crusades. We see what I think that must be some Middle Eastern conflict going on over there. And then, I like the juxtaposition, and I didn't realize until later, but I do like the juxtaposition between war and destruction and art and beauty and creation, like writing literature, stories, creating a sculpture. So yeah, it's a very deep page to me anyway. Hey, Edith.
Hi, Edith. Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, this looks fantastic. And then you have a splash page, like with the contrast with the fire and the darkness of space behind it. Yeah, it's art, man. It looks great. This is the kind of book that I would certainly check out if I saw it in the store or on Indiegogo, which I also did.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at this.
I mean, yeah. So I actually asked my artist. I said, I want the earth reflected on his eye, okay, because I want to really show his desire to come here, right? And fire, like I said, he's the catalyst of the story, and he's the one who proposes to his siblings to come to Earth to take a vacation from their duties of creation, because because they're lonely.
So these characters are eternal. They are immortal. They've lived for a long time.
I'm finding myself, for better or worse, still coming up with a lore. There are things sometimes I change my mind about, but I have said before on streams before that they are not immortal. they age very, very slowly. Okay,
Mm.
and they are dieable. I mean, dieable. You know, they can die.
Yeah,
Okay,
dieable.
so
I like that word.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and so why do they pick Earth? Because the universe is infinite, right? So
Mhm,
they can go anywhere. So what's special
mhm.
about New York?
Well, I don't know that it's infinite. You know, that's a very it's a very complex concept, and I'm sure I'll tackle it at one point in the story. But Earth is a very special planet. It's a pretty planet. I mean, even in real life, scientists have been looking for a planet like Earth for decades, and they can't find it. I mean, maybe they found one, I believe. Um, so it's not easy to find a planet as perfect as Earth in terms of the perfect amount of water, the perfect amount of, the atmosphere not being too strong, too light. So it's easy to assume that there aren't many planets like Earth where a society can thrive as well as mankind was able to do. And so they're attracted to that. I mean, there are other. I'll tell you this because it is a story, and it is a fact in this universe that I've created. There are definitely other planets in the universe, and with societies on them. And some of these characters have been on those planets before. Um, but Fire, in particular, he just has a thing for us, and
Okay, cool.
he picks New York City specifically because it's one of the busiest cities. So you have to imagine he's looking from space, right? So from space, he can see all this traffic towards one area of the globe, and then he zooms in with his eyes because that's what he can do, and he can see just how like busy and riveting with life New York is. And he can recognize through films and stuff, which he can also see through, with his eyes by observing Earth, that New York is very important pop culture wise.
Mhm.
So he's attracted to it.
Okay, and was it challenging for you to write to use New York as the setting because you are from Britain
Mhm. Yeah.
and from Italy, but not connected to New York?
Hmm. I mean, yes, I have written other stories. I mean, none of my stories take place in the United Kingdom or in Italy because I don't find it, it's not global enough. I don't, I
Yeah.
want my story to feel
Okay.
very, global and a universal story. And in a way, I suppose that's why I had Fire pick New York City, because that's how I feel about New York City, right? It's culturally important, basically. And so yeah, I mean, it was difficult. I had to look up a few things. You
Mhm.
have to make sure that, for example, one thing can happen from one place to another. These characters can fly. So how long would it take for them to get from point A to point B?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. They also get an apartment in New York City. So I had to check out, what New York City apartments look like, sort of stuff like that. And,
Did you use existing addresses for the apartments so people can look it up, or is that
I don't believe I've ever used an address for their
okay?
apartment,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to, write something stupid.
Yeah.
So it's always like, for example, there's a character that is flirting with one of them, and one of them then gives this character a piece of paper with the address of where they live, so that this character can come and and say hello sometimes. But we
Mhm.
don't see that. It's only implied, right? So that's how I sort of handle it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know these tricks, man. This is yeah, and this is the black and white version without the
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah, so that's the black and white, which
Mhm.
will be lettered, and the black and white version of this comic is also available as part of the featured perk. So both colored and black and white will be available.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I must say it looks good in black and white also.
Yeah. That's
Imagine you
why.
have to color this, man. This looks pretty difficult to color because you already have the black and white doing the job, you know, and
Mhm,
you have to add colors upon
mhm.
that.
I mean, I think obviously my artist work stands on its own. That's why I'm publishing in black and white as well.
Mhm.
But then the colorist adds another layer, not only to the mood, but also an actual practical layer in terms of adding dimension, depth to what we see. So I thought that they were both, both essential. Basically, I mean, I enjoy a black and white comic. Um, and, I've read mangas in my life. I have a bunch of them, so I wanted to give people that experience for both of them.
Yeah, look, and this page you can see that the colors really enhanced it.
Mm-hmm.
These are like blank shapes,
Mm-hmm.
which works well with the contrast. But if you see the color version here, it's completely filled up, you know. So
Yeah.
the colorist added depth to it.
Yeah.
It's well done, man. It's really good.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'll tell you something else about this page. So this originally I had hired a different colorist. He was younger and didn't have as much experience as my current colorist, which, by the way, I have no shame in saying this. I think my colorist is better than Ethan's colorist. Okay. My colorist is better than Kyle Ritter. He's better than I think most colorists I've ever seen in my life. He's incredible. Because he goes like really so many steps beyond my expectations. He doesn't just color the thing. Hey, Dave, how you doing, man?
Hi,
Uh,
Dave.
he doesn't just color the thing, adds like a layer or something. He
Mhm.
really works hard because he understands how good the artist is, and he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to fall back. He doesn't want to be like the colorist that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
So the other colors that I had hired, unfortunately, and I will probably show his page one day. But I'm not going to say his name because it's not fair to him. But this page he had colored was the page where I said, you know what, I think you're not the right person for this project, because, for example, that shape at the bottom,
Mhm.
I like to think that there was a little confusion in drawing this page. I like to think that's Earth, right? Because it's
Yeah.
blue.
Mhm.
But obviously, then you've got another shape over there. So let's just
You've got
pretend.
two moons, right?
Yeah, let's
So
just pretend. Let's just
yeah.
pretend that things are a little different than what they are. Okay.
Okay.
So the Earth, my other colorist colored it in such a way that it didn't look like a planet at all. It looked like a wedge. I couldn't see the spheric shape. I couldn't see it
All
curving.
right. Yeah.
Okay. And so I had to let him go for that. And the flame as well. That was the first time. This is the first time that we see fire. The way he colored fire was absolutely just wrong, man. And then I see these colors from a new colorist, and I
Mhm.
just fell in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was kind of a test page for the new colorist.
No, it wasn't the test page. In my old colorist, I mean this page, yes. For the new colorist, it was, yes. So
Mhm.
my old colorist, he drew page one colored, page 1, 2, and 3. This is page 3, and at page 3, I let him go.
Yeah.
And then my new colorist, I started from this page because I wanted to see if he could color the page that my other colorist could not, and he did. And then, of course, his work on every other page was so amazing.
Yeah. Definitely, man. It's important to get the look you want and the right team, and I've had to part ways with other artists also when I figured out they weren't right for the project. You know, it just happens,
Hmm.
and it's good that you noticed before. Yeah, when you're like 3-4 pages in, then you get to see, will it get better? Is this it?
Hmm.
Is this the direction I want to go?
Yeah.
So, and then you can still change course. So you
Hmm.
did well, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Okay, this is the black and white stuff. Some more black and white, yeah, with the old-fashioned gradients.
That's right.
What are these?
So these are the trading cards. This one in particular is part of the featured perk. The trading cards, if you scroll just to the image below, there you go. So all our stretch goals are trading cards, and it's a collection. All right, it's the heroes, the columns of creation, and every $500 after we get to 15,000 is going to unlock 2 trading cards. Very easy to unlock these stretch goals. All we need to do is hit the goal. Okay, and it
Easy.
can be done. It can be done. We still have time. We still have
Mhm.
time.
Yep.
And especially considering that the campaign has bumps, towards the end and whatever it is, and I have a lot of guests on my show, so hopefully that's going to bring some new eyes to my campaign as well. So these ones, what you're seeing here, these are pages of original art as drawn by myself, and so what you see here, this is a story that precedes the comic that I would be putting out, and there you have it. So these are available as perks,
Okay.
and
So in what formats do they come as perks? Is this in the book, or is this a
no,
separate book,
they
or-
these are original pages of art.
Oh, original pages. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, I see now.
Yeah,
Nice.
and those ones in the top of the art bundle number 1, for example, those are the very pages that we see on this campaign. They're drawn by my artist, except for the last one. The last one also was drawn by my artist.
Okay. So he used your old pages as some guidance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So I was a bit curious about the setup of the you need it's euros here, so we have
It's
this
okay.
we have this weird thing here called euros.
Mhm.
So you need over
You
12.
can change the currency, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. It's okay. You don't have to.
Shall we do that then?
Sure.
Here we go. Make it some easier.
All
Save.
right.
There we go.
All right.
Okay. Wow, it's a lot more now. It's almost 15,000. You probably put it on 15,000, and then the dollar began to shift, and you get these weird numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously I had to create the goal in pounds, in British pounds.
I had the same problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you've been going for is this your first 30
It's
days?
my first. Yeah.
So you're going to extend?
I am. I'm going to extend, and we also have some new perks that will be added. I will have a new featured perk, and it's gonna have some really amazing stuff in it. Okay, there's gonna be bookmarks. There's gonna be a patch. There's gonna be new variant covers, prints, stuff like that. It's gonna be great. So, yeah, I heard some people don't back. Obviously, like they don't back throughout the campaign. They want to see it hit the goal, and then they back because they want to be part of the success story. But here's the thing: if you don't back, there won't be a success story. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Now, I understand and I appreciate why you do that, because you want to prioritize other campaigns that you know for sure are going to be fulfilling. But then again, we have seen many times that even when the goal has been hit, it's not sure that people will fulfill their campaigns. So,
hey man, I back this. I have faith. I
thank
think
you so much.
the concept is very good. The art, it looks great. But I have to say it will be hard work to get there, and you also have the goal fixed, so you need to reach it.
Yeah.
So do you want to go through the perks quickly?
Sure. I just want to say, like, all I want to say about the perks really, get the featured perk, because it's gonna get you the fully colored comic. Then you get the black and white version, you get the PDF, and you also get the trading card, which is the only way to get the Earth trading card. Because if we unlock the stretch goals, you will be missing this card if you don't back this perk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
$50 you get the PDF, black and white, the with the black and white columns for variants. Oh, that's
yeah,
oh sure.
columns
Yeah.
are, that's right. And this is, the black and white comic. This is the only way to get it, just like the trading card. So they're
Mhm.
exclusive to this perk.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Flaming
Yeah.
Hat sketch.
Yeah, and you have a sketch. I haven't had any sketches yet, but man, I would like somebody to order a sketch. It's only $7, because you guys, if you get a comic, I mean, how nice would it be that you also get a sketch? This is also available as an add-on. So
Okay.
at checkout, you can select it. You can get a sketch of one of the characters, your favorite character, drawn by myself, or whatever character you want from your book, or Mickey Mouse. I don't care, whoever it is. I can draw it and sign it, and then you can have it in your book.
Yeah. I think this works better as a add-on, because most people come for the main event, and that's the comic,
Mhm.
So is this added somewhere with the comic too, besides the add-on? Yeah.
No, it's only available as on itself, and then as an
Mhm.
add-on. So you if you just wanted, let's say, the comic, you could get the columns variant or the fire variant, and then you just at checkout you add the sketch.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the variant here, the variant here, fire. All right. Yeah. Different covers. Cool. These are the original pages.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these are all separate.
So they're all separate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I have 2 bundles in the end.
Bundles too. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I wish I could add, I wish my artist didn't work exclusively digital on this comic, so I could, I could sell some of those pages. But then again, I don't know how it works, if he would just give those pages to me, or if I would have to pay for them first and then, sell them. I've never had to I've never had any artist work for me and with original art, so I don't know how that works.
yeah, the artist I work with, he does traditional, and he does sell the original pieces, and we do have some on the campaign. For instance, the splash pages and the cover, people can get those through the campaign, and the other pages he usually sells alongside the campaign. We don't have to put everything on there.
Nice.
But some pages are special, like the splash pages, double pages, those things. Okay, and okay, cool. Is there anything else you like to talk about your campaign, or?
I wanted to talk about the channel a little bit.
The channel.
Yeah, my channel.
Your channel, sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to hint at we have the Inkfinity Comics YouTube channel, and wow, I am at 91 subscribers. The subscriber count keeps on going up and up and up, and I just love it. So we've
Do you
got.
want to bring it up?
Sure.
You can
doing it on your end
through it. 91 subscribers now.
91 subscribers.
That's pretty good, man.
Thank you. Do you want me to share the screen?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thanks, man.
So you have full control.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you, man. Yeah, so this is the channel, and we have a couple of videos uploaded already. These are live streams. I'll only be doing live streams exclusively, because this channel used to be called something else. It's been rebranded. When I was writing, these novels I told you about, and I used to post writing advice videos. I had bought a very expensive camera, and I had a whole setup and everything, but I just obviously I went a different route. So I did away with all of that. And besides, they were so cringy, the cringiest videos you could think of.
Yeah. Well, if you look back up on your own older videos, then you probably always think that, oh man, that's terrible, and I could have done better. So
yeah.
So I get that.
But those ones were different. Like, I feel like if I look back to what I'm doing now, I wouldn't feel the same way, because what I'm doing now is more natural, right? I'm just doing like live streams, but those were pre-recorded videos. So it was all about posing and making myself sound a certain way. And the reason why I'm doing live streams is because it's a very time consuming to edit a video. So, if you do live streams, you just do the live stream and then it's out there, right? So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, for now, we'll see if I want to add days later on, we go live. Tuesday, I am on with a guy called Simon Pothier. Wednesday, I go with Anthony Gambino. Thursdays, every other Thursday, not every Thursday. So this Thursday, this week, I was on with Vinny Tardamella, creator of Shut of the Kraken.
Yeah.
And then so next Thursday I will be on his channel. And then the Thursday after that is going to be back on my channel, and we're going to keep on doing that. So every other Thursday, Vinny will be on the Inkfinity Comics channel. And then Sundays, I am keeping it just for a one-to-one between me and creators. Now, like I said, I have booked a shit ton of interviews already. I've got people booked such as Ryan Wynn, Alternate Comics. Who else is there? Eddie Winkler, Frankie B. Washington, Professor Murph, Clint Stoker, Philip Diaz, so Lucifer Storm, so many wonderful creators.
Even Shay from Red Valkyrie, I saw there.
I will be going on her show.
Okay.
But I don't believe I have that. No. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party. And I'm so glad that I ditched Instagram for you too, because I much rather talk to people and have fun conversations. And we talk about all kinds of stuff, as you can see from the previous streams. We talked about comic books. We talked about pop culture. We do touch upon SGWs here and there, and why not? God damn it, it's just fun, It's just fun. And
fun, man.
and we talk about movies. We talked about the MCU with Vinny. We talked about TV shows, all kinds of stuff. It's fun. So yeah, come hang out, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and we were going live. The first live stream, upcoming live stream, is going to be on Tuesday, and I'm gonna have Joe Catapano as a guest. Then Wednesday, we're gonna have Don Chin as a guest, and I believe that that wraps up. No, that week also on Sunday I will have Eddie Winkler. So already
Global Frequency, you're on the 28th on Global Frequency. I'll be on Global Frequency the 27th, so the day before.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's right. So I'll be on there on the 28th at my midnight. I'm not sure what time it's over there. And
yeah. Mind the time zones, man. I screwed up myself also a few times. One time I just slept through it. It happened once, and another time someone sent me the link and the time, and while it was night for me, so I never saw it.
Oh wow!
And those are embarrassing moments, man, when it goes live and I'm not there,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? It is what it is. I mean, if I hadn't checked the time on the stream, that it said 7 p.m. I would have, the same thing would have happened to me today.
It's very easy. I understand. I would not have been mad, because I completely get it. Okay, man. Cool. Anyway, so people, I have shared the. Oh wait, Hey, we have Marvin here. Hey,
Hey,
Marvin.
Marvin.
Marvin. And here we have Mr. Phonic. Wasn't it supposed to start at 8? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then we changed last minute. So sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Sorry about that.
But I will share the link to the
Yeah.
campaign.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Check this out, people. It's a really cool book. And
Thank you.
while you're at it, let's put my own in there. So again, guys, for people who have been waiting, this is the second stream that I failed to connect to the page I had set up, so the link did not work. I don't understand why, so I have to figure that out. And here's the link to Perfect 10. Check that out. We have a new stretch goal. So once again, let me share.
Your campaign, I wasn't really familiar with it. I'm going to be honest with you until recently. Your campaign sounds really nice. The video was great. I like the character. I mean, she's sexy, and this is
we want
coming
sexy,
from
man. We want that. When the mainstream doesn't bring you sexy, then we have the obligation to do that.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. Not that it matters to anything, but just to sort of make a point, right? I'm gay, and even I appreciate that the character looks sexy. So go figure. I'm supposed to be pulling my hair out, right, and be like, oh my god, why does she have big tits? I had this guy on Instagram. Man, people are crazy. I had this guy on Instagram yesterday. Beautiful cover, look at that. So I was following this guy, famous guy, and he drew a piece of Storm from X-Men. And she had like her ass was in full display in this costume that she was wearing. And this guy said Storm would never wear that costume. So I asked, why not? And he said, because she's not a hoe. So I said to him, so you think that in order for a woman not to be a hoe, she cannot be wearing revealing clothes? Is that what you think about women? And obviously, usually I wouldn't make those comments because they sound very snowflakey. But this is the logic that they use all the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So, so it's like, okay. So if you're gonna take fiction and put it into the real world, I'm gonna do the same thing with you. So you're saying that the female character, or women in general, all women, they're not allowed to dress how they want because you're gonna call them a hoe. And so he said something like, blah, blah, blah. No, this is just sexist, blah, blah, blah. Why don't they put Wolverine in a thong? And I said to him, actually, all the superheroes, all the male superheroes that I can think of have always been sexualized with big muscles, big arms, big asses, and everything in full display in movies, in comics. So that's okay. But if they do it with Storm, that's not okay. And he deleted his comment.
Yeah, and they will all will also tell you that it's drawn by males, so it caters to the male fantasy.
That's what he said. That's what he said about the artist. But I said, I'm gay. I don't like women sexually, and yet I enjoy this because it's visually pleasing to the eye. Also, and I wish I would have said that to this asshole, it's like, so you can turn Wonder Woman into a morbidly obese girl dressed in jeans and shit, but you cannot make them attractive anymore. Why? Why are you thinking like this?
I get that, man. It works the other way around as well. Disclosure: I am not gay. I know I'm supposed to be ashamed, but I'm not. I can't help it. So, and this, I think this is awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want I want to see these buff, muscular superheroes.
Hmm.
This is cool to look at.
Yeah.
So so same goes with women.
Hmm.
If you see this and you think about sex, then that's your problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not mine.
And but can I tell you something else?
Sure,
When
man.
I asked my artist to draw fire, I actually specifically asked him to give him a realistic body. All right. I didn't want him to be, super muscular and have that typical, superhero body, because these are not superheroes. They're not even gods. They're higher than that. Um, but some other characters like Wind is more muscular, for example. But it's like, yes, I didn't want. I prefer a character that has a realistic body type. Even skinny. Like, I'm a big fan of Sandman. That's where Comics of Creation was inspired from mainly, and
Right.
Dream from Sandman. He's super skinny. Um, but I'm certainly not gonna go out of my way to bash, things like a female character with big tits, or a character with big arms or whatever. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I don't know, man. It's just you know when I grew up, there were plenty of comics that I did not like. They
Hmm.
just weren't, and they didn't appeal to me. And I didn't like the art style or the way people were drawn or whatever. And you know what? I just did not buy them.
That's
I
right.
didn't. I didn't tell anyone that they're not supposed to make these comics because
Hmm.
they don't cater to my interests.
Hmm.
That's ridiculous. You want variety. You want comics for everybody, and
That's right.
this means you have to draw comics with beautiful people,
That's
because
right.
many customers like that, especially in superheroes. Superheroes. Yeah, they're supposed to have this kind of ideal,
Hmm.
this
Yeah.
something to look up to, and
Yeah. Not anymore. Not
no,
anymore, because SJWs are ugly on the inside, and so of course they're also ugly on the outside. And so they want to, because they like to do self inserts. They cannot stand to see an attractive woman in the comic, or an attractive whatever. They must have a woman that is, that doesn't look like that, because that's how they look. So they want to feel like they are the superheroes of their own stories, when in truth they're just, a bunch of losers.
yeah, man, it's anyway, that's the state of mainstream nowadays. So just
Yeah,
buy indie comics, buy Comics of Creation and Perfect
that's
10,
right.
and then you have some quality comics by
That's
people
right. Yeah, and
who care about comics.
that's right. And Columns of Creation is completely, um, you know, in like, identity politics free. Okay, there's none of this crap. Of course, it takes place in society. So there are certain themes that are touched upon occasionally. For example, Native Americans, because Dark, the one of the characters, he came to Earth during the 1800s, and he fell in love with an Apache woman. And so there is a whole story there that I would like to tell someday. And it is inherent to the character. It's not just there because I have, an impellent need to say how much, Americans stole the land from Native Americans. I don't give a shit about that. I actually, respect any country that was able to conquer another land. I mean, the Roman Empire did it with everybody. England wouldn't even exist in the form that it exists. English wouldn't even exist in the form that it exists had it not been for the conquering of uh, of uh, of these lands at the hands of the Roman Empire. That's why English is a Latin American language, because the Roman Empire used to speak Latin. So, I mean, they have shaped, conquering has shaped the world. But now somehow we think of conquering what used to be, you know, the things that were accepted back in the old days. We tend to think of them as like, what if they happen today? But stop thinking like that. They couldn't happen today, but they did happen, and they are good things because the world would be a different place had they not happened. You with me?
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Many terrible things happened in the past, man. But it's not something we can um,
We
we
can't
can't
change it.
turn. No, we can't turn back time. The world is given shape to the world we live in now with everything we yeah, with all the prosperity and you know it's yeah these are subjects that are probably made um, more heavy than they need to be. um,
Definitely, yeah.
and it's basically used as means to control many people who get angry about everything, just need a reason to get angry
Yeah.
and to control others. And
hmm
if it's not history, then it's your skin color
Yeah.
or your sexual preference or whatever. You
hmm
know, in the end, it's all about control. And
Yeah.
okay, man, we've hit the hour. So
Nice.
um, thank you very much for being my first guest.
Thank you. I'm honored.
This was great.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. I agree. You're a good. You're a good host.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. I do my best, man.
man.
Okay. Okay. Maybe you can tell the viewers where people can find you.
Sure. So just follow me on Twitter at Alejandro_VS and subscribe. Subscribe to this to the YouTube channel Inkfinity Comics. Ring the bell. We'll be going live streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Amazing guests on the way, guys. Joe Catapano, Don Chin, Eddie Winkler. I mean, you name it. So please,
Okay. Awesome.
thanks.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks everyone for watching. Sorry for the mix-up with the links, and I'll fix it so in replay it'll be perfectly fine.
Mhm.
So I hope you'll be back for the next stream next week, and we'll have David Feed as a guest. See you
Nice.
then. Bye bye.